Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Can you guys hear us all right?
Rain-X Premium Silicone Wiper.
Well, what is that? All right. Who have we got
Welcome.
here? Ayuchi. I don't know how you pronounce that. Scott Dunbar.
Debbie Russo.
Rev BTB does it.
Yes.
Nice to see you here.
Thank you, Debbie.
Oh, our love back to you, Debbie.
Hi, Chris. Hi, Joyce.
Nice.
So far, my wife has done about 800 miles, and we add about 200 a year.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
So you'll be done in 10 years.
Yeah.
It's not bad, actually.
That's a good plan.
Some people have a much longer time frame. So, hello from Roxylvania.
Yeah, everyone, please comment where you're joining us from, and thank you so much for being here. And I just wanted to say I'm so sorry we had to delay it another day. That was my fault. I didn't realize you had to be verified over a 24-hour process.
Yeah, YouTube had to make sure we were a safe channel or something. We weren't gonna cause anarchy or any of that business. So we're safe and we're good to go.
Yeah, we're here. Sorry if we're a little slow. This is our first live stream ever. We're really excited to do it, and we're hoping to do this like once a year for like a special occasion for you all. So
yeah, just a good little update for you guys.
Yes.
So what do we got here? Seymour Trails, good stuff.
Seymour.
Nice to see you here.
John Moran from Bethlehem, Roxylvania. Fred's Head.
John's Dad Hikes. We saw you in Maryland.
Yes.
So nice to see you here.
Very nice to see you.
Nice.
Jason Kern, Mage here. Met ya at Trail Days with Spacey from Michigan.
All right.
Nice to see you again, Jason.
Nice to see you here. Yeah, any questions you guys have of us? This is your time. Yeah.
I know we finished like 2 months ago. We were planning on doing these live streams like throughout the whole hike, but through hiking and vlogging, as it turns out, together is very stressful and hard to do.
Yes.
And we were very lucky to have each other to kind of lean on, but it was not an easy feat. And so we're here 2 months later, happy to answer any questions from you guys. So
when's the wedding?
Everyone's asking, when's the wedding?
It is TBD.
TBD.
We have a couple things in mind.
Yeah.
We know it's going to be on the top of a mountain. That's for sure. But when and where is still up in the air. Probably next October.
Yeah.
We want to have a fall wedding. And
yeah, we were kind of giving ourselves a grace period to just like relax. So we're gonna start getting really serious about it soon.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I haven't had a lot of free time recently since I started my new job at Sugarloaf. So I've been working pretty hard doing that. So
yeah, he's been working 12-hour shifts, and Wednesday, Thursdays are his weekend. So we've been filming on those days. So it's been definitely an adjustment for us.
Yeah.
So
live stream the wedding.
Maybe we will.
We might have something on YouTube. A hiking honeymoon. Yes.
That's my mom.
Definitely.
What is the first project you'll be doing in your cabin? That's a great question. I think getting our wood stove installed.
Yeah, the first, I mean, it's been a huge work in progress. We're trying to get all the utilities to it right now. Fern's dad is an architect, so that's been very useful as to everything that goes into a home. And I didn't realize there was so much that went into a home. we have to get septic and electricity and water, and it's a lot. It is a big project, but we're hoping to move in hopefully in the spring.
Yeah, we're just so
So
grateful for my parents and all they've done for us. And right now, the front yard is a big trench, and we're putting in the water and power lines to the cabin. And it's been, you know,
yeah,
the epitome of like it gets worse before it gets better. But we're really excited and just grateful that we were able to do the digging, even though we have a little bit of snow on the ground. We haven't had
yeah.
that like deep freeze yet. So,
Not yet, so they're still able to do some digging and trenching. But yeah, I got my sugar shack up, and
yes.
we will be posting a video about that at some point in the future,
Yeah.
maybe soon.
We have all the content of just like transporting the cabin down the hill, which turned out to be a big engineering project and took all four
Yeah,
of us to get it down
it
there.
took about 5.5 hours to get it down the driveway, and we put it on log rollers and had the tractor in the front and my forerunner in the back, and it was a big thing. So
Yeah,
we're very excited to be sharing that because I filmed all of that. So we're excited to be sharing all that
it's
stuff.
gonna be
So
huge. Yeah.
question about here. Would you bring an umbrella again, and how well did your pack covers work?
Mm,
Um, Definitely, I would say umbrella is a good thing to have.
yeah,
Well,
multi-purpose.
yeah, for us it was great because when I was vlogging, I could still vlog on the rainy days, and it just provides protection.
Mhm.
You don't really have to worry about the sun necessarily on the AT because of the green tunnel. But just you have like protection from the rain, and it creates this little bubble of dryness around you,
Yes.
and we really love that. Um,
I
a-
loved, like, just being able to have, like, a dry snack break was huge. The biggest thing is, like, finding the right umbrella and then figuring out, like, a rig system for your shoulder strap so you can be hands-free. We found
yeah,
those little, like, wire ties for cords worked really well to secure the umbrella, and we both had the Snow Peak ultralight umbrellas. I got them because, who else had them?
Jay wanders
Jay
out.
wanders out, yes. So I trusted his opinion on them, and they turned out to work great for us.
Yeah, no,
So
they were awesome. They were like so light, and they compacted down really nicely. And
she's not having
she loves it. But
it.
no, they were great. And as far as the pack covers, they worked okay. Over time, though, if it's like really raining, the rain soaks into your straps, and then the water just gets into your pack. So if it's really raining, your pack cover is not going to be the best option.
Jason
But
says, "My umbrella came in handy at the Trail Days parade." That
I
is
bet it
very
did.
accurate
Yeah.
because if you don't know, I guess like the tradition is like everyone has water guns and they spray you at Trail Days
Yeah.
because they're trying to like clean the
Because we're
hikers.
dirty hikers.
um, so yes, an umbrella would be helpful for that. As for pack covers, mine was kind of a flop. I got the super lightweight Z Packs one, and it ended up getting like a whole bunch of holes in it, which was kind
It
of
was
my fault
ultralight, that's why.
because I would keep the tent poles on the side and it kept poking holes in the pack cover.
Mhm.
And you're not really supposed to need one with a Dyneema pack, but I was carrying, the iPad and I really wanted to keep it dry. So I was like super crazy and put a pack cover over it too. But I
Yeah.
think yours worked out a lot better than mine.
Yeah, mine was nice. We got pretty lucky this year on our hike because we were hiking during like a drought period, which was okay in the south, but then once we got to like New York and in the mid Atlantic states, there was like no water, so that was a huge drawback when we got up there.
Yeah.
Um,
That friggin' hiker says, "So excited about the sugar shack. I can only imagine how cool it would be to make maple syrup and bring it to the hikers on the AT as the most New England trail magic ever."
yeah, we
That
totally
would be
can.
epic.
Yeah.
We're close to the trail. We're like 20 minutes from the
hmm
trail, and we
We
are
could do a pancake breakfast
we could.
for Nobos, Sobos,
We're so excited to
everybody.
kinda give back next year
Yeah.
and host our own magics. That'll be
Oh,
really
we're
exciting.
super hyped to do that. We
Yeah.
just have to like make our own pull off because there's not really much of a pull off. It's just like ditches on either side, so we have to like figure something out.
Yeah.
But there's a nice big rock we can hide a cooler behind.
It's kind of an unexpected magic, like, road, so we're excited to kind of work off of that, so that's a good
hmm
idea, though,
Yeah.
with maple. Um,
What
see.
do we got? What are you feeding that cat?
Yeah,
Okay.
maple syrup.
They were okay. She was already pretty chunky before they went to my parents' house in South Carolina, and then they came back with another few extra pounds on them. So they were being well loved down there. But yes, we're trying to put them on a diet, but it's hard. It's
Yeah,
hard when there's two of them.
we'll get there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seymour
45
asks,
viewers.
"Oh,
Oh,
45, the blessed number."
45. The blessed viewer amount. Um,
Seymour asked if we would do anything different on our through hike. That's a tough
do
question,
anything different.
but I need to honor Seymour because he's such a great supporter.
Hmm. I would try to I know like in the in the south and like in the middle part of our hike especially, definitely in the middle part of our hike, we kind of started hiking more separate during the day, and it was already really tough to begin with because it was just hot and it was um
Mhm.
it was pretty rough, and I would definitely opt to stay closer together, and that was kind of on me because I just speed up ahead and I just like get
He's
into the
fast.
zone.
He gets the tunnel vision, then he just
Yeah,
goes.
and then I just turn around and then Fern's gone. So I would definitely have tried to stay closer to Fern.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. I
it's
did
okay.
not mean to
I
abandon
learned to be
you.
fiercely independent on trail, even though we're
Yes,
still
you're
hiking
you're an
together.
independent woman. So
Yeah, I think for me, um
hi mom, by the way.
Aw. Aw, hi, Lisa.
Creative Mom 4, that's my
Thanks for
mom.
being here.
Thank you for coming by. Dog for Life says, "What was your favorite state?"
Hmm,
Well, I mean, we're pretty
we
biased,
are. It just kept getting better as we head more north. It got more
but
challenging, but it got more beautiful and, like, rugged. It was, like,
hmm
rugged, like, deathly beautiful.
yeah, I would say for the South, my personal favorite state was Tennessee,
Yeah,
and it was a really short state. It was like what 50
I
miles
think
or
so.
something. It was
Yeah.
like 3 days of hiking, not even. But the amount of waterfalls we came across, and we did our aqua blazing in Tennessee, and that was really fun. And it was great. It was a nice little break after, what was it, North Carolina, and then we went into Tennessee. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we went straight into Virginia after that. So no, I really like Tennessee. What was I going? Connecticut was the same way with that. It was
Super
just
short.
short and sweet, and tons of waterfalls, and it really offered a break from like New York and the droughts of New York. So that was fun.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
and then obviously Maine.
And New Hampshire.
New Hampshire was. I mean, we love New Hampshire.
It was
Don't get me
tough.
wrong, but through hiking New Hampshire is a lot different than day hiking it. And we only had experience day hiking in the Whites. So we were super excited to get there, and it was amazing, every single part of it. But
So humbled.
holy crap,
Just slap
yeah,
of, like, reality, and this
big
is when
slap
we
of
started
reality.
just hiking super close together, like, right behind one another, because
Yeah,
you just go down these rock faces and, you could really, really hurt yourself.
yeah, we had a couple pretty rough descents
But
and ascents. And that's when the rain started coming too. Figure
mhm.
that. The second we hit the Whites, our first like 3, 4 major summits were completely socked in.
Yeah.
So they really tested us.
The
But
video game just kept getting harder and harder.
yes,
And then we had the boss
the
battle of
boss
Maine.
battles were abundant. So
Tabitha says, she's a section hiker and she's a school bus driver, so she hikes in the summer. I think that's so awesome. And yeah, I really do admire section hikers and just their ability to motivate and keep getting back out there and
oh
keep,
yeah.
getting the trail legs, then losing them. And
Oh, big props to section hikers because yeah, when through hikers like you get your trail legs. And then, I mean, it's not that hard once you hit a certain point. It feels like, but section hikers, yeah, like you get your trail legs, and then the second you get your trail legs, you have to get off trail, and then so like I feel like your whole hike is just the process of getting your trail legs. So it seems like it would be a lot harder to do
yeah,
that. So yeah, huge props to you guys.
yeah, you
And
got your legs like super fast, but it took me, I would say, until the halfway point to really feel like, okay, I can just cruise up, a
yeah.
mountain, no problem.
Well, it helped because it got pretty flat too
It did.
during the halfway.
It's kind of a mental
Um,
battle too.
I would say like probably around the Virginia Triple Crown, like mile 600, was when I felt like really comfortable in my trail legs. So,
Yeah.
and then Virginia is just rolling hills. It's not too hard. It just gets pretty redundant after a while. So
Scott Clark asks, keeping in touch with Post Call? He seems like such a genuine soul. Yes, we've been texting him all the time and keeping up with his whereabouts. He hopped on the Arizona trail like right after finishing the through hike and did
yeah, he
like,
did a couple days on
yeah,
there.
I did like 3 or 4 days. So props to him for doing that. I mean, we did not have that kind of energy, but
Yeah.
yes, we've definitely been staying in touch with him for sure.
Yeah, no, he seems to be doing pretty well.
Mhm.
So we have plans for future hikes with him,
Yeah.
hopefully.
He was reaching out. He was asking us like, "How are you guys? How are your knees doing and everything?" He was like, I guess experiencing a little bit of soreness, but I said like, "Hey man, you hopped back on trail, like you probably, are feeling sore from that." But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
um were there any unexpected mental challenges that you came across while on trail? Yes.
I mean, yeah, like you really don't know what to expect until you're there in the moment.
Yeah.
And I mean, we knew it was going to be a mental game, but I would say the unexpected mental part of the trail um, was
Sorry.
was in the north. I mean, we had these big dreams of like getting to New Hampshire, and every day was gonna be so peachy because we were back in our whites, and every it was gonna be amazing. But we got slammed with reality the second we got there, and once we when we got into Maine, we were pretty much on our last legs. It was so that was a
Yeah,
really unexpected mental challenge. We figured we get
definitely.
to Maine and we'd just be kind of cruising the rest of the way, But Maine's a big state.
It's huge, and you
It's a
get
really big state.
to the border, right after Mount Success, and you're on the Mahoosic Trail. It's the most rugged section of the entire trail, and it's like an elated feeling, like you hike to Maine, but the days are really tough. Um, and yeah, that was definitely a rough section. And
Mm.
even just everyone around you, you can just sense everyone was very burnt out too. And like we came across a lot of like hostile hikers too. Rev wants to know the gossip about the Stooges. Um, they were just basically three hikers who didn't really know how to hike, and
That's the best way to describe them.
they
There are hikers out there that just do not
they
know
didn't know.
how to through hike. They would like, I think the big issue was that they kept leapfrogging with us.
But not like a normal amount. It was like they would, disrespectfully like come right up on you. And usually when that would happen to me, I would holler out like, "Oh, good morning," or "How you doing?" just so you like alert the person in front of you. But no, they would come like right up behind you, and then
It would be only that one guy though, and then he would pass us and then have to wait up for the other two
so he
people.
would stop.
So he would stop, and then we'd have to pass him again, and he'd wait up for them, and then he would pass us again inevitably because he was super fast. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh my god,
It
like,
was just like a constant leapfrog. And then one
yeah.
day, my mom was dropping us back off at trail at 10 o'clock in the morning. And of
Oh my
course, who
goodness.
pulls in the same exact second? We had been hiking with them like 3 days prior,
And then we took a
and
zero. Of
they
course, they
zeroed.
took a zero the same day. And they literally pulled up to the trailhead at like 2 minutes after we
We
did.
just couldn't
And
handle
we
it.
were just like
They weren't very
done with
nice either. Like they didn't really
yeah.
talk to us or acknowledge us, and just like a lot of hostility, because I understand everyone's just so tired and burnt out at
Yeah.
that section.
I feel
So
like it went both ways because we were not really in the mood to
yeah,
socialize either. So,
it was tough.
we didn't really exchange many words with them, but yeah, it was something.
In Tennessee, they don't have privies, but they give you a shovel. Yes, in the Smokies, they have toilet areas,
Oh my
which
goodness. That was awful.
are disgusting, and I don't think are the best leave no trace
Oh
principles.
no. There is many traces of
Yeah.
people in the Smokies. There's just a lot of people there. So
Oh, I'm
um
doing the Smokies
I
next.
want to do. Oh wait, no. Can I say?
Oh, yeah.
Seymour Trails asked, "How's Wilson?" He's doing great, actually. Um, we waited until he was finally ripe, and then we ate his flesh, and then we planted his seed, and he's a beautiful plant now.
We gave him new life.
We gave him new life.
He's infused with the love of a 6-day backpacking trip through
Yes,
Western Maine.
exactly. We brought him over the Bigelows and over the Crockers and Sugarloaf and most of the 4Ks in Maine, and yeah, he's doing all right. We hopefully are gonna be planting him in a greenhouse or something.
Will you make a Wilson sticker? I have had thoughts about that. I would like to.
Maybe,
Yes,
yeah, maybe
definitely.
anything's possible.
I just need enough time.
Oh,
Oh, she brought
wow!
Wilson. I was literally just thinking we should go.
Here
Thank
he
you.
is.
Our tech,
Thanks to Mama
our tech
Duffy.
manager. No,
This is
my mom.
Wilson.
Here he is.
Here he is. He got kind of nibbled on by one of the cats.
Yes.
So other than that, he's doing all right.
Can you believe this is Wilson? Like,
This
look
is
at
Wilson.
him.
Look at him. He's
We have
beautiful.
a note on our fridge that says "Check on Wilson."
Yeah. Yeah. So he hasn't had new growth in a while. I think because it's the winter time now, and he knows it because there's not a lot of light going on. So he's doing all right. He's just not really growing much, but
Yeah,
he's healthy. So
he's doing great.
hopefully he will be a beautiful tree one day.
We're hoping. We're hoping we can grow a mango tree in Maine.
Mango.
But we'll find out and we'll keep you updated. Or there was a question about the Smokies and hammocking. Here it is from Tabitha. I normally hammock, but debating on going from hammock to tent, but others said there aren't too many good tent spots. Yeah, the Smokies are tough, because as a
Yeah.
thru hiker, you are restricted to, the designated camping areas. And basically they're either 8 miles apart, or you could do 16 apart,
Mhm.
and it's not super great, and we really didn't enjoy through hiking the Smokies. It was very stressful, to have to make those checkpoints, and,
Yeah.
we were really inexperienced and young through hikers, and we'd roll up at, like, 8 o'clock at night, and there was no, tenting area left. I think you would be fine as long as if you're planning on getting to camp early and if
Yeah.
you're not at peak through hiking season.
Yeah, I would say, it's a lot more stressful doing the Smokies with a tent, because there was a lot of times that we got to the shelter and every single tent, like flat tent spot, was open. So really, there was only like options for hammocking. So
Mhm.
if you're doing the Smokies, especially during a busy time, I would say hammock is the best non-stressful way to do it.
Yeah.
So that's just our experience, though.
Yeah, it would probably be better,
Yeah.
especially if you're hiking on your own, super easy.
Yeah. There was a lot of shelters in the Smokies that had just awful tenting. I mean, it wasn't great. I think we had some of our worst tenting spots of the whole trail in the
Yes.
Smokies, for sure.
I just recall one, and it was like this right next to the shelter, it was like a bowl of, like, straw, and it
Yeah.
had, like, 2 imprints, and it looked like Big
Big
Bird just,
Bird.
like,
It
sat
was
his
his
butt
nest.
cheeks, like, right
It was his nest. I slept in one imprint and she slept in the other one, and it was like a curved bowl. So that one was pretty bad. But oh, thank you to Epic Balls
Thank you,
Productions,
Epic
by the
Balls,
way.
for the super like. We really appreciate it. Scott Dunbar wants to know how us kids met.
It's a long, long
You haven't
story.
gotten to that part, in our through hike. We do, share our story of how we met.
Did we?
It
Yeah,
was
no,
on
we did
our
a few
our
times.
second dating anniversary on June 14th of our through hike, we shared, but
Do you want to share it or shall I?
we can share it together.
Okay. Well, it was because of the pandemic, and Fern was working in New York at the time, and I mean, we all know what happened in New York, so she pretty much had to flee and came home to
Mm.
Plymouth. And my buddy was living at her brother's house at the time. He was one of his roommates, so yeah, we met there at her brother's house, and oh my gosh, Donna, get out of the camera. Um, and yeah, the rest is history. I mean, we started hiking pretty much like the second we started leaving his house. I would travel down to Plymouth from Manchester, New Hampshire every weekend for
Yeah.
a couple months,
I
and
gave him
then
a really hard time. It took me a long time to realize that he was just traveling down there to see me. And
yeah.
neither of us really were super big into hiking. I was when
Well,
I was really
I
young.
moved up to New Hampshire to kinda get back into
Yeah,
hiking, but, I did a few hikes by myself, but, I wasn't, like, hiking, like, anything crazy.
no mountains,
No
and
huge mountains,
the
really.
funniest story is that, like, one of the first times we were in New Hampshire together, we were just looking for things to do, and you suggested driving up the auto road of Mount Washington, and it was closed due to high winds. So I was like, oh, let's just, hike up. Like it was no big deal.
Mhm.
It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon already, and we're starting up the mountain, on Tuckerman Ravine. And basically, we got lost, found our way back. We made it like probably a third of the way up the mountain, and we returned the next
Yeah,
week.
we were bushwhacking on our first hike,
It was a disaster.
and, yeah, we took the Huntington Ravine Trail, which is
Look it up.
If you guys don't know,
Look it up.
it is the single most dangerous trail in the whole White Mountains, and like people have died on that trail, and it gets like
Yeah.
vertical. But luckily, we got lost way before that section, so we just found our way back down, and then we hiked it. We hiked it like three weeks later. So
Yeah.
hi,
But yeah.
Dad. He chimed
Aisha.
in.
Aw.
Good to see you here.
Glad you could make it.
Um,
We have quite a few questions. I feel like we're going really slow.
okay,
Sorry.
so we gotta bang through some hammock.
Are you planning a trip to Hiawassee to see layers in 45? I love to see your friendship bloom so fast and genuinely. That's a great question from my Aunt Sue. Yeah, we really want to see them. We're hoping sometime next year.
Yeah, my family lives in South Carolina, so we might be able to do that on on the way there or back
Yeah,
on
we
a
miss
trip down
them
there.
so much. They got married like towards the end of our hike, and
Yeah, we were
we're
supposed to go to
devastated
that
we missed
wedding,
it.
and they had it before we even finished.
Well, we were not super fast, but yeah, we
Um,
will see them sometime next year.
yeah.
Because they're just so special, and like we just started out so high up, with friends on Springer,
hmm
and we were just so fortunate to have met them and like
Yeah, they were
absolutely
awesome.
cherish our week together.
hmm
It was so beautiful.
All right. Ayuchi says, any advice for couples hiking long distance? How did you divide the work? Seemed like Fern was always setting up the tent. Yes, because I was always hanging the bear
And
bag.
he was always filming. He filmed everything. You guys wouldn't have any of the hike if it weren't for him, because I don't have enough patience to film while hiking.
Yeah, but
Um,
you had to do all the editing at the end of the day,
at the
and
end.
that was it took a lot, especially on the days that we got back super late. You just want to go to bed after hiking like 15 miles.
Yeah.
You don't want to edit a whole video, and you did that for like a good portion, like 80% of the hike before we kind of went dark and you guys for a bit.
We made it work. And advice for dividing up the work, you will kind of figure out like what your special skill set is, or what you're good at and what you like on trail. Um, for
Yeah.
us personally, it became apparent pretty fast. Like I was very good and efficient at setting up the tent, and um, Gypsy was really good at hanging the bear bag, and
Yeah.
those were kind of our,
Yeah.
how we divided it up.
I made a point to hang the bear bag the second we got into camp, because hanging a bear bag in the dark is just not fun. And I had a couple of times where I was just, not having a good time trying to find a branch to hang
Or
a
getting
bear
stung
bag.
by ground
In the,
bees in the
yeah, getting
process.
stung by ground bees trying to hang a bear bag. That was
Yeah.
fun. New Jersey was good to me. So,
Yep.
what do we got? Your cat is eating your microphone. Yeah. What was your favorite type of mushroom? I would say probably, well, chicken of the woods was just amazing. So beautiful
So
and
vibrant.
vibrant, and I found out how to harvest and cook it safely. And I did not poison her family when we were on a zero.
He did well.
I was a little bit scared that
We totally
that would
lived.
happen,
We
but
totally lived.
everyone lived to tell the tale. And chicken of the woods is like really really good.
It's so thick and meaty. Like it really did
It's like
taste like chicken.
texture wise, it is delicious, and yeah, it's like eating meat almost.
Yeah.
Um,
I would love to find like morels, because I
I
know those are the
know.
kind you
Not
can use
on
for like
trail
tea, I
though,
think.
because everyone who knows what a morel is gonna be picking those, and so we never saw any of those on trail.
Yeah, you'd have to go off and bushwhack,
Yeah,
I think.
but I would say my favorite mushroom overall was the destroying angel, and just because of how beautiful and how toxic it is at the same time, and yeah, just what an amazing fungus it was. So
Doug asks, while filming and editing on trail, how did you keep everything charged?
big
Um,
battery banks
very large battery banks.
and a lot of GoPro batteries.
Yeah. How many GoPro batteries did you carry?
I had 5.
5 total.
Yeah, I had 2 of the enduro batteries and I had 3 regular batteries. And yeah,
Yeah.
GoPro batteries are not great. They don't last a whole long, especially in the cold. They die like that,
I'm pretty
It's
sure GoPro hates us because we've totally dissed their
we
company.
we left them some scathing reviews on our channel. So,
But
yeah.
aside from those, we each carried Nightcore battery banks, which are like the lightest weight ones that you can find on the market.
Yeah.
I carried 2 of the 10,000 milliamp ones, which was actually lighter than their 20,000 packaged one, which is kind of weird.
Mhm.
So I carried the 210s, and you
I
had
I had the
the
20.
20.
Yeah. And it was okay. It started kinda acting weird towards the end, but, for the most part, it was good.
Yeah, they're great battery banks. I
Yeah.
mean, we could go like 8 days tops. I think we did 8 days once.
Yeah, that was, like, really scrounging towards the end, but
It
we
was
we
tough,
made we
but
made it work.
yeah,
So, oh, geez.
your
To scroll
dad
up.
was how do you hike the AT? How do you keep from getting lost?
When my dad says, "When you hike the AT, how do you keep from getting lost and not lose the trail?" So we used the app Far Out, and come on now, Jason Kern,
Jason
come on
Kern.
now. we
Whose
all
farts were
we,
worse
we
than
all
the tip?
know the
We
answer
all
to that
know.
question.
But
Um,
whose feet were worse?
yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It was okay. At the end of a long day, you just kind of died, and you don't really worry about that stuff.
Nope.
So
And then you get used to your nasty smell over time. You just get
yeah,
immune
you
to it.
start not to really smell it anymore,
Yeah.
which
I
is
didn't
really
smell
nice.
us like at all once we got into it,
Yeah.
which is very gross.
Um,
In our house, you're known as Fern and Vern.
Fern and Vern
Is that like an old show or something? I was
sounds like
trying
an
to
old
look it
show.
up, but I've never heard that reference before, but that's
Fern and
really
Vern
sweet.
show. Um, 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 um,
How long?
Eggnog says, "How long were you carrying that ring on trail?" So I got it in Hanover, New Hampshire. So that's like right as you cross into New Hampshire, right over the border. So I carried it all throughout the Whites and all through Maine, and yeah,
Mm.
I was able to hide it
Yes, even
somehow.
though I have eyes in the back of
Well, you didn't really like
my head.
go through my stuff,
No, I
so
didn't.
we don't really like go through each other's things, but
Just to get the tent, I would just like
yeah,
unzip the
yeah,
bottom,
but
but
yeah, so like a month, 2 month and a half, I carried
it
it.
would have been scary to carry it the whole time. I don't know.
Yeah, especially like in when we're in like towns like Damascus. I feel like just big hiker towns. People get your stuff stolen if you leave it
Mhm.
unattended. So I wouldn't have been happy carrying it down south. So
Uh, Hi, Gil. Nice to see y'all. Section hiker here. The logistics for section hikes can be daunting and expensive. I can imagine just like you live in Virginia, but you need to do like this 30-mile stretch in,
yeah,
New Jersey. Like
that's
that
why
is
we
so
did it
tough.
all at once.
Yeah.
We just quit our jobs and gave away our apartments. Um, what was I gonna say? Boyd says, "Be honest, did you always hang the bear bag?"
No.
Yes, up until Vermont area, and
Yeah.
that was mainly because when you get into the higher elevations, really starting in Vermont, it gets all like pine needly and conifers are really like they will grow really close together in the elevations, and you can't really hang a bear bag on a pine tree very easily because there's
Yeah.
just way too many branches, and the branches are pretty flimsy, so any amount of weight would cause it to snap. But we kind of felt safe when we were up in the higher elevations because there wasn't really a whole lot for animal activity up there, at
Yeah.
least as far as we could tell. So yeah, like Vermont, I mean New Hampshire, you know, when we were in like the valley, you know, we tried to, you know, still hang and all that,
We were
but
very consistent until that point, and we were hanging more than, we were in, like, the lower, I don't know, 30% of people who were still hanging to that point.
yeah, oh, most people
People
just
stopped
abandoned it halfway
altogether,
through.
and,
Yeah,
we really did our best, and then, yeah, we started to have the tree problem, and then, we started sleeping with our food and, wrapping it up, so, we weren't cooking, like, smoked salmon, openly in our tent, something very delicious. We were still, like, careful, um,
we tried not to.
and we started feeling more comfortable. I mean, I just left a really honest comment to someone about this on our channel, and that you can really kind of gauge, the danger when you're out there. I think definitely in the South, you need to be really careful when you're starting in the spring with bears.
Yeah, definitely in
Um,
the South,
Definitely New
in New
Jersey, that state
Jersey,
is infested.
Pennsylvania,
Yeah,
anywhere in the Smokies, you do not want to have food in your pack,
yeah.
or North Carolina or Georgia. It seemed. Um,
How did your equipment choices change as your hike progressed? What did you do away with and what did you add? This is kind of a big list.
yeah, we're gonna be posting a video. Actually, our next video is going to be on that topic. Um, we lost a bunch of weight because there
Yeah.
were certain things that we realized that you don't really need.
Yeah.
I brought rain pants with me, really for the sole purpose that for like you know doing laundry on trail, I would have something to wear. But I never wore them for rain, and I only wore them a few times for laundry, even. So I did away with those, and just like a few other things that we got rid of, and
Yeah.
I had a bug zapper at one point, and yeah, I got rid of that in about a week.
He didn't wanna get a new trail
I
name
did
from
not
it,
want to get a
so
new
he got rid
trail
of
name.
it.
I could see it coming because people kept asking me if what it
He's like,
was.
"What's that tennis racket thing you have?"
Uh, but yeah, so we're gonna be posting a video on that pretty soon.
Yeah, yeah. As you go on to, like, letting go of things become easier. It's like letting go of, like, your burdens, like, you're literally carrying everything, and it just gets easier and easier to live with less as you go on, and it's
Yeah.
kind of a cool journey, like, following, what you can really deal with living without. But
Hmm.
we'll definitely go in super detail about that.
Yeah.
Definitely the rain pants, just,
Oh
like,
yeah.
extra clothing in general, you don't really need.
Yeah, we brought a lot of extra clothing to start. To start, it doesn't hurt because you're still cold a lot of the time. But
Yeah,
yeah.
a lot of switching out with the seasons, definitely.
We are not the ones that left the moose skull in Old Spec. I don't know who did,
No.
but
Yeah, it was
that
super
was pretty
cool. They
rad.
put, like, flowers in it too, I think.
There's flowers.
Yes, Aunt Sue, we will stop by and see you on the way to Hiawassee. We will do that.
What month do you guys recommend people register? And if you could do it all over, what month would you guys start the hike? Um, we started it on the late end, so we were on the tail end of the bubble. We started it April 7th, but if I were to do it again, I'd probably start like either early March or maybe late February. It's still pretty cold then, so you have to deal with the cold for an extra month or so. But just, you know, not being in like a huge bubble of people
Yeah, I would say it depends
is
on what
nice.
type of hike you're looking for, if you're looking for a really social experience or not. Um, I think we would
Yeah.
definitely would have started, like, early March, to have a little bit of a quieter experience in the beginning. because trail is just packed. I mean, I think
Yeah,
there was
it
a
was
lot
a
of
lot.
pent up, demand after 2020 shut down people's through hikes.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably early March. But again, it's really just up to your preference.
Um, Aunt Sue says, "What does your sweater mean? Was it made for you?"
It was made for
Um,
him.
it was bought for me.
Yeah.
It says Meowie Christmas, purr purr, and it is my favorite ugly Christmas
He's a
sweater.
crazy cat
If
dad.
if I could wear it year round, I would. I just love breaking it out this time of year.
I know, I feel bad I don't have a cool
Hmm.
sweater to show off.
Yeah, my old platoon sergeant actually gave it to me for a
That's really
Christmas
sweet.
present. So, um, Christopher Marshburn says, "Tell everyone about your amazing stickers and art." Well, now that you say it, look at well, we
Well, it's
don't.
all
We
behind
were gonna
me.
have a board of stuff behind
We're
us,
basically
but
apologies for the like open,
can I
insulation,
grab a few stickers to like
but
show? What's your favorite one?
grab whatever.
Oh yeah.
But we're planning on putting up sheetrocking this winter and getting the studio all set up, my mom and I, and we want to have like a filming corner for all of our videos and have, the AT map and our certificates in the background.
Oh yeah.
So
It's gonna be great.
right now we're kind of just roughing it and we don't really have a filming set up, but yeah, I have an Etsy. It's called Cloud on a Mountain, and I make
Here's
all
one.
kinds of fun
It says
outdoor
Happy Trails.
stickers.
I don't know if you can see that. There's kind of some glare going on, but it says Happy Trails and winding, steep, and rugged ones too. So that's a
Yeah.
really nice one. She also has a beautiful Maine sticker right here. It's very big. It's almost the
Oh,
size of my head. So you can see every little detail in it. And there's so many amazing details.
I'll
She
put
also has her AT sticker, which is one of her new ones. Oh, you're gonna
yes.
put
I'm
your
gonna put
your
the link
Etsy in
in
there.
case you guys
So
want to check
this
it
one's a
out.
nice one. There's a lot of cool mushrooms in this one. So she did that for me. And her all-time bestseller would be her New Hampshire 48 sticker. So this is one of the first ones you made, and
Yeah,
it remains one of the best selling ones. And that's what brought us to the AT. So it's a special
it's
one to
very
us.
special. Yeah, it's been really fun to merge my love of art and hiking together, and I also do freelance animation, but Etsy's been like a really fun outlet for me, to kind of explore outdoor art. So yeah, check it out. Let's see. My my wife makes me wear a smoked salmon around my neck when we hike.
What does that mean? Oh, I don't know. Your wife must hate you. um,
Wait, do we miss any?
yeah, there was a
I
few.
don't want to miss any.
Uh, what are you planning on doing an AT gear update, and what changed and what gear you loved most? Yeah, we are going to be doing a video with that. So
Definitely.
that is going to actually be our next video
The
that
next
we
one is
post.
the AT thank you video. We made a video yesterday. We used our time that we were planning for this to thank
Yeah,
everyone on trail. So that'll be coming out and then the gear video.
yeah.
Um,
Merry Christmas to you too,
oh, Merry
Jason Kern.
Christmas,
Happy
Jason
holidays
Kern,
all
and
around.
everyone. Happy holidays.
Yeah. Do you ever plan to go for your Triple Crown? Uh,
I knew this one was coming.
I mean, I'd love to do the PCT. I don't know how it's gonna work with doing the homestead, but who knows? I mean,
Yeah, I think for the next year, we're planning on definitely just settling down and working on the homestead. We kind of have our eyes on shorter trails. Like, we'd love to finish the northern 100 miles of the long trail, and that goes all the way up to Canada. We'd love to do that.
mhm.
And possibly like the John Muir Trail. I think that's around 200 miles. So, and we wanted to do the Wonderland Trail with Will and Molly.
Yeah, hopefully
So
that still is in
someday,
the books.
definitely shorter things, less commitment, for right now, but you never know. I mean, the future's wide open. My husband always finds the bees on trail, especially at Maupin Field Shelter. I find the bears.
The
You
bees,
guys are
the
good at finding
bees,
all kinds of critters.
the bees got bad in like the mid Atlantic.
I found a lot of bees, a lot of
You got
ground
stung a few
bees. I
times.
got stung at night once,
Yeah, that
in
was rude.
I think it was in Vermont.
That was in Vermont.
And
Yeah.
bee
We thought
stings
the bees
are
were
the
gone by then.
worst. I mean, they don't really hurt when you get it, but afterwards, I mean,
It's
I was
super
having
itchy.
all kinds of itching and swelling. And
Yeah.
one of them, I got like heat rash around, and it was really scary looking. I remember close call just kind of like
You thought
pulling
it
me
was a
aside
staph
one day, and he
infection.
was like, "Hey, look, like, are you worried about this?" And I was like, "Well."
Little
I
bit,
get
but
heat
it's all
rashes, so I
good.
wasn't super worried, but yeah, the bees
Mhm.
are definitely something I did not expect on trail, like, and a lot of the times I was just walking and, like, one of my legs would, like, hit the bee and it would, like, catapult and then it stung me. So,
Not fun.
not fun.
But are you guys gonna do the New England 67?
Definitely,
We
yeah,
are almost finished with that. I think we have about 5 to go.
we're close.
Like 4 in Vermont. We have about 3 left to do in Maine.
Mhm.
So we're almost there. We just have to drive really far to do all those. And we realized that what was it, 2 days ago? We
Mhm.
hiked the Osceolas in New Hampshire, and really beautiful hike. I'll be
Mhm.
posting on Instagram pretty soon. But it really made me realize how much further we live from the whites
Yeah.
now, because it was like 3.5 hours one way,
More time in the car than on the trails, so it's
literally.
just really hard, and we're still gritting out the 48, which, if you don't know, means doing the New Hampshire 48 for every month of the year. So it equals 576 summits. And right now we're at 110. And so basically it's a lifelong project. We're not, trying to rush through it, but
Oh,
it's
we're not
still
rushing.
it's still really important to us. But I think we realize that when we do get the opportunity to go out there again, it has to be like a 2 or 3 day period of off time for Evan, and we're gonna need to, spend a few nights over there.
Yeah, it's
Um,
definitely gonna be an overnight, and
Multiple
definitely
hikes.
gonna be at least 1 or 2 hikes. Cause yeah, that's a long trip, and I think I burned like $60 worth of gas just
Yeah.
just doing that. It was
Six
well worth
hours
it.
and $60 a
It was
gas.
well worth it, but yeah, yeah, when the time in the car exceeds the time actually hiking,
It's
it's
frustrating.
yeah, it
Yeah.
gets to be a lot.
But I'm
But
still really glad we went out. It was really nice, perfect conditions, and we hiked on a Tuesday, and we only saw one other woman.
literally one
It was
other
great.
person. It was amazing. Perfect conditions, perfect day. So,
Uh,
um, what did your family and friends think of this adventure before and after you completed it? They thought we were pretty crazy before. I don't think a single one of them believed that it would actually happen.
no,
And
until like maybe a
yeah,
month before, like, oh, I guess it's actually happening.
yeah, like
Yeah,
reality hit hard. But
yeah,
yeah, and then after it, yeah, everyone was
definitely
pretty
excited and
excited for
happy,
us.
and
So
yeah,
yeah.
definitely good reaction. Looking at your trail experience, if you had to be your ideal trail angel.
Angle.
Oh, what was your best trail angel experience? I have an answer for this. It was staying with Natalie and John in
Yes.
PA. Natalie and John are incredible people, and I had made this little form prior to our hike, a Google form where people could fill out if they were interested to help us and where they were. And she had filled it out, and I reached out to her, and I guess she's known as like a trail angel who takes in like bloggers from the track and vloggers on YouTube. And you know, you don't really know what to expect when these just people kindly offer to help you. And
Yeah,
yeah, I guess
it worked out.
we didn't know what we were expecting,
Yeah.
but they had just the most beautiful home, and Natalie was the most incredible cook. Um, she just made us, treated us as her own like children, and they were empty nesters, so they were kind of using like trail magic as a way to kind of fill that hole in their life, and just such beautiful people. They slack packed us a day, and
It was so great.
this was also when I was still having some plantar fasciitis pain, and just having someone like pick you up and feed you and show you that kind of love and support is just like unheard of. And I know our hike definitely restored a lot of our faith in humanity.
Oh, big
But
time,
we're just
you know?
so grateful for Natalie and John,
Yeah.
and all that they do.
That was
So
that was
it
truly
was
amazing trail magic.
it was unreal. Okay, I'm an orange. Do you get blisters, and how do you handle them? We didn't really have too much trouble with. Donna just fell off of a box.
Donna, what are you doing? Can you see her? Yeah, the great thing about trail runners is it has a really open toe box, and you don't really you don't really get blisters that often. You don't really have much for support, but yeah, there's trail runners are great. Yeah, so we didn't really have to worry about blisters too much.
Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't say. A couple times I would just put like the moleskin on the blister, and that helped it heal up pretty fast.
Yeah,
So
no, the moleskin, that's great.
mm.
Yeah,
The Appalachian Trail is a vampire. Once you're bitten, you're hooked.
that's very true.
That's very true. Oh, thank you for being a part of our adventure, Seymour. We really appreciate you. Um,
What did you learn about yourselves or each other that you didn't know before trail life?
mm,
Hmm. Living living together for the first time was, definitely something to get used to.
yeah,
Um, we used to call our tent our first
it
apartment.
was.
Because I mean that's basically what it was. We went from commuting, seeing each other on weekends, to living together in a tent. And yeah, I mean it's all the normal things you learn about the other person when you start living with
Yeah,
them, all their
our little
routines and
habits.
their little habits. And I mean we already knew most of that about each other, but yeah, it was nice. Um, you
Yeah,
know,
it was really nice. And
it
then
definitely helped us living together for real. So it was a good way to ease into that.
it
So
was. I wouldn't say it was easing. I think we definitely threw each other into the deep end, but we
hmm
did really well. We definitely adapted super well.
yeah, definitely. It could have ended a lot worse.
And
So it was a
yeah,
best case.
hiking with a partner on the trail is just so much more wonderful of an experience. Just being able to kind of share that goal together, and being able to share the responsibility. And um, yeah, I just think it's so much nicer having someone to lean on. Whenever we had those emotionally low days, it was
Yeah.
always like one person, and then the other could kind of like lift you back up. We were never like both emotionally low at the same time, so
Usually not. On
usually,
days where that was the case, it was a pretty tough day.
yeah.
But generally, it was one or the other, and I think like the other one could kind of sense that the other wasn't having such a great time, so it kind of like boosted their mood and tried to like help the other one. And yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean hiking with a partner definitely has its benefits.
Yeah. I just admire people who go out there alone, because I couldn't imagine doing everything on my own.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it gets tough.
what was your longest period of back-to-back rain, and how did you handle it? I think you mentioned we had a very dry year on trail, which had its own, battles. We were really struggling with heat and a lot of the streams being dried up. So that was, yeah, definitely a different challenge than other years. Back-to-back rain. Do
New
you,
Hampshire.
New Hampshire, I guess.
It
Yeah.
was like, I mean, we did, what was it, like a 5-day resupply from Hanover, and then we got picked up in Franconia Notch, and it I think it rained like 3 out of the 5 days, three
Yeah.
or four out of the five, and it was just gross, and like
Yeah.
just like perfect timing too, and it was it was tough because we had been kind of used to it being pretty dry, so going from that to like wet and mucky and rainy, especially in a time on trail where you wanted to have good weather, was pretty tough.
Yeah, we were just saying our worst day on trail was the day we were hiking into Munson, Maine. This is right before you enter the 100-mile wilderness, and my mom was picking us up that day, which we're really grateful for, but it was just absolutely torrential raining all day, and we didn't realize we had, like, 4 waist-deep river fords that day, and, yeah, it was just really tough, and we were, like,
Mm.
starving, we couldn't even stop for 5 minutes without
You
freezing.
can't stop because you'll get hypothermic in a
It was
second.
really scary, and we finally finished all the fords, and we reached this spot, and I said to Evan in close call, I'm like, "We need to throw up our tents like our, flies," because we have the capability to do that with
With the Big
the Big
Agnes.
Agnes tent, so
We
we
love the Big Agnes
they're
tent.
great. Best piece of gear, we had,
Oh
and
yeah, huge props to them.
yeah,
Yeah.
we would just throw up the fly, and we just had to, like, change out of our wet clothes, so I couldn't imagine not being able to get picked up that day and then, having to continue and not having then an extra set of dry clothes, so
Yeah, that's
that
pretty rough.
was really tough, but, we had our own challenges in, like, PA with, like, the heat and the humidity, and constantly having wet clothes from your sweat is just disgusting. Uh,
Mm,
hmm.
was through hiking a good test or relationship builders? I mean, it can really make or break you. And if you have a pretty strong relationship to begin with, it really solidifies that. And yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, you really grow closer together through all the good times and the hardships, and
yeah,
yeah, it really helps build a strong bond between people. So.
definitely. Yeah, it's a really beautiful thing, and just, yeah, going through all those challenges together.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Uh, I hope you saw my Baxter State Park camping recommendations. I don't think I have. I'm gonna have to go through and look for your comment, Robert, but thank you very much for those. I had 2 weeks of rain on the AT last year.
Oh,
Oof,
that's a
that
bummer.
sounds terrible. I'm so sorry. Which mountains on the AT give you the thoughts of what the heck have we gotten ourselves into? Uh,
Oh, what was that mountain in
Nevada.
Maine? There was there was one in Maine that was just super crappy. It was like, remember the one that everyone was complaining about on Far Out because it was like when things were supposed to get super flat.
Oh, Moody Mountain.
M- Oh, that one was a tough
Moody
one.
Mountain.
But no, I
That
mean,
was tough.
yeah, there was another one in Maine,
Uh,
like right before the 100-mile wilderness, and it was just
oh,
like,
the chairbacks were tough.
oh yeah, the chairbacks were. They
Yeah.
were definitely a good start to the 100-mile
The 100-mile
wilderness.
wilderness is not easy. It's not flat. I mean,
Yeah, the first half of it is pretty rugged
it's all
and
river
up and
crossings,
down, and not as much in the way of like elevation, but just super bumpy and
just
rugged. And
slow going.
even if the trail looks flat, like on far
You're
out,
gonna have
there's gonna
roots
be
and
like
rocks.
roots, boulders, and rocks, and like little ups and downs that the topo doesn't reflect.
Like boulders you have to climb over and down.
Yeah,
Like it's not flat. It wasn't easy. Maybe the last day was easy. I don't know, before
yeah. The
Katahdin.
last like 2 days were all
Yeah.
right.
But it I don't know, everyone said like, "Oh, once you get it past a certain point, like over the Bigelows, it's supposed to get easier." And there was an easy section leading up
Mhm,
to the Kennebec River, but after that, I mean, it's not it's not super easy.
yeah. Anyone here have advice on getting hiking legs before a trail or
Mm.
stair stepper? Yeah. The only thing that can really prepare you for a through hike is a through hike.
Like a week-long backpacking trip. You should do that. Go out for a week or even like,
Yeah,
2
that
or
that
3
might
days.
that might help you.
Nothing prepared
But
us.
as far as getting trail legs, like you really don't get trail legs until like you're 500
Yeah.
miles in.
I don't wanna, like,
So
discourage you from not preparing, but
you should
definitely
still prepare
do
and
an
do day
overnight
hikes.
trip
Yeah.
just to figure out what is and isn't working out for you. We would take our full packs out on day hikes in the White Mountains, and it did not prepare
That was
us.
stupid.
It did
It
not
was
work.
stupid. Um, yeah, trying to hike Franconia in like waist deep snow
And we
with
had,
full
like,
through hiking packs
snowshoes
and full
also.
resupplies.
It
And
hurt.
snowshoes. That was a bad idea.
It hurt.
But yeah, like you can definitely prepare yourself for what you would expect for a hike. But as far as getting trail legs, you just gotta throw yourself into it.
Pretty late. We'll watch back if I leave it up. Thanks for being here, Bucky. At the start of your hike, I had just torn my Achilles tendon. I enjoyed following, and y'all got me through some hard times. If you're ever in Tampa Bay, you both have a fishing trip on me. Thank you, Captain Andrew. That's very sweet.
Right on.
We're sorry to hear about your Achilles. That's really painful. Hope it healed up well over the summer, and glad we were able to kind of give you your hiking fix while you were down. So
Aunt Sue says, "What about the lightning and fire?" We had both of those.
we had these
We almost got struck by lightning.
going into Damascus.
Yeah, literally like right before
It
Damascus, and
really was crazy. I just remember it was a stunning sunny day and just this really dark cloud coming in, and the sunbeams coming down on us, but we heard thunder and it was just like
just black
wild,
thunderheads started coming
so
in, and
dark.
like the sound of 1,000 gunshots and this bright white light just exploded in the sky, and I could smell the plastic from my umbrella being
And then I
singed.
screamed at him, "Close your umbrella, we're not using them."
Yeah, but no, it hit the tree right like maybe 10 feet in front of you though.
Yeah,
So
that
that was
really scared
really,
me.
really scary. And then yeah, we also saw a wildfire in Virginia. Virginia was a fun state to hike through.
So much thunder.
Yeah, it tried to kill us multiple
It
times,
did.
but yeah, wildfire from a lightning strike
Yeah.
the night before.
Going
That was
into Troutville, I think.
that was
Yeah.
right after Tinker Cliffs. After the Triple
Yeah, we
Crown.
had 11 miles into Daleville or Troutville. One
Yeah,
of those.
that was fun.
Yeah. The
So
elements
yeah,
are wild.
luckily close call called that one in, and he actually
Yeah, he saved the
got to the
trail.
road and saw them responding to it.
They responded so
So they
fast. He just
were,
called 911 and, was
yeah, who
able
would
to
have
get
known?
someone to extinguish it.
Did you have bad luck being around people partying, or is that really a big part of it?
Rarely spoken in videos from along the AT. Um,
It just depends on where you go and
yeah,
like what shelters you stay at. There are some well-known party hostels, and you can
yeah.
definitely avoid them.
I was definitely
Um,
surprised how many of these hostels just turned out to be like really, party spots and not restful experiences. And I don't think
Especially down
enough
south. Yeah.
YouTubers are talking about kind of the AT party culture and just how much of it there is. I don't think it was like just our experience. I do think like a lot of people just go out there to have a good time and like escape life.
Yeah. And
So
everyone goes out for different reasons, but
yeah,
yeah, we tried to stay away from that stuff. I mean, we were going out there for a completely different reason, so
yeah, I
but
was just
yeah.
surprised, like, cause no, I don't think anyone really talks about it on
Mhm.
here. Um,
Yeah.
Everything that happens in real life happens on trail, that's what they say.
Yeah, yeah. It is mostly avoidable though. We stealth camped
Yeah,
most of the time.
we avoided
Definitely the last
neuro.
half of the hike. We only stealth camped, and we were able to avoid a lot of that stuff.
Yeah,
So,
stealthing was great. Uh,
um interested in the tent. What do you mean throw up the fly? Set up the fly in the tent afterwards.
yes.
So in the we should do a
We'll do
video
a
on this.
demonstration, but basically with the big Agnes copper spur tent, that's the one we have, the 3-person copper spur. You lay out the special gray ground cloth. So
Which you have to buy
you
separately.
have to buy their ground
It's
cloth.
like 80
It's
bucks. I know
expensive,
it's expensive,
but we
but yeah,
justified it
it's worth
to be
it.
able to set up in the rain. So you put the ground cloth, you set up the poles, and then you just throw the fly over it, and then you hop inside on top of the ground cloth and clip in the tent. But um, it's a lot easier with 2 people. It's not an
Mm,
easy process, and it's
little tough. Yeah, I
it's a
mean,
little
you
tough.
can figure it out. Um, your
Oh,
connection is unstable. Oh, okay, never mind. But yeah, no, that was a really great feature that we used a few times when it was raining a lot.
our back wall is fuzzy. It's like Christmas snow. Is our connection better now?
I think they're talking about the insulation.
Oh, okay. We are in the boonies and we don't have like the best connection. We do have Starlink, which is working
Starlink.
pretty well for us.
Yeah, it's great.
So,
I hated Mount Garfield. You go down that waterfall.
yes,
That
you
is
go
very
down a
true.
waterfall
That is
and
very
we were
true.
just talking on our hike at the Osceolas like I wonder what that looks like in the winter. Like you probably need to ice climb up
Yeah,
and
I'd
down
bring an
it.
ice axe for that one and do not descend down that way.
How
Um,
many pairs of shoes did you go through?
I think we each went through 5 pairs.
Yeah, 4 or 5, I'm not sure. And then I switched from Ultras to Hokas, and they ended up saving me from plantar fasciitis.
Yeah, the Hokas last like 800 miles at
They
least,
last a lot
eight or
longer
nine
than
hundred miles.
Ultras, so I would
So,
suggest starting with Hokas.
actually going up. Any comments about insects? Did you guys just cope really well?
Oh,
Or are the bugs not as bad as you expected?
they're bad, but only for, like, a month period, I would say.
The worst part
Mm,
for us was in Mass, and because that's like just the height of the summer,
yeah,
and
they were, like, terrible. I mean, and this is
yeah,
when
it
we
was
started
really
getting
bad.
bad hanging the bear bag because it's like, you
Yeah,
eat dinner and then you don't wanna go outside and be, swatting bugs late at night and early in the morning, so it was
yeah,
just and then there was one day where we got up, like, super early, like 3 in the morning, and we put on all of our clothing to protect us because we were hiking through this really, like, swampy area,
yeah. It's
so that
just
was
like a
tough.
known bad spot on
Yeah.
trail. So
It was
yeah,
terrible.
it was pretty bad. But otherwise, it wasn't for me. It wasn't too bad. I never used bug spray because I just don't like having that on my skin when I can't really take a shower.
Must be nice.
Yeah, she was a pincushion.
Must be
They
amazing.
really loved her. I didn't really have as bad of a time with it. It
Yeah.
just depends on who you are and your genetics and your diet, I feel like.
Yeah.
So Tabitha says, "You guys got me thinking about doing the New Hampshire
You should
48.
do it. It's a great way to
Woo!
prepare
Come to
for
the dark
a through
side." Not
hike, and
really, but
it's so
oh
beautiful.
god.
If you do start your New Hampshire 48, definitely start in the summer. We recently lost a hiker in the White Mountains due to the shoulder season conditions. So, yeah, do a lot of research on the whites. They're definitely not to be underestimated. And we started hiking in the fall, which was like not super great, kind of throwing ourselves into the deep end, but
It was an interesting time to start hiking.
definitely make sure you're prepared for winter conditions, even, if it's a sunny day at the base of the mountain.
Yeah, you do not underestimate weather in the White Mountains,
Yeah.
especially in Franconia and the presidentials. Anywhere above tree line gets pretty dicey. Moose
Yeah.
Lock
But
is the
it's so
same way.
beautiful and it's a wonderful place. Um, don't want to discourage anyone, but just spreading awareness about, just the conditions in the whites. A
Yeah.
really good resource for just for any mountain. We love using the mountain forecast .com. They have really great, accurate forecasts, and it shows you like what the wind
Mostly
speeds
accurate.
will be. Yeah.
It didn't help for us in the presidentials, but I think that's just because the presidentials are
Fair.
so unpredictable as it
Yeah.
is, so it's just hard to tell. Um,
I don't know if you saw this in the beginning.
the angel
Mm,
hair meal.
oh, the amounts.
The
Oh,
oh,
okay. So I wrote down the recipe on like a sticky note, and then we moved, and I just have no idea where the recipe is. But um, what went into the meals were angel hair, uh,
a lot of cheese,
dehydrated cheese, a lot of
a lot of
it,
cheese, a lot of butter,
a lot of freeze dried
um,
carrots,
red
bell
pepper flakes.
peppers, and then like dried chicken as well. And we got these big canisters from Amazon. You can order, um, and then just throw everything in, measure it, and yeah, I'm so
Delicious.
sorry. Maybe I'll try to like write up a recipe
Yeah, we should do
roughly
another
and send
a
it to you.
video on it pretty soon.
Yeah.
So, thank you to Hiker Biker Klutz.
Thank you for super liking.
Yeah,
Um, New York has 3 trails if you ever want to check them out: the Finger Lakes Trail, the Long Path, and the Northville Lake Placid trails. That
nice.
sounds beautiful. I went to Lake Placid with my family once.
Is it placid?
Placid. It's very placid. Which
Did he super like us twice? I think he did.
did you super like us twice? Well,
Oh,
thank you.
thank you again, Hiker
That's very
Biker.
sweet.
You're too generous.
Which of you first proposed hiking the AT, and how long does it take the other person to buy into it? I don't think it was like one of us.
It was just a
like
mutual decision.
it was just this kind of
Yeah.
obsession that forms. Like we get back from our hikes on the 48, and we were really into like super intense mountaineering documentaries, and we started like doing some deep dives into those. And then somehow we discovered Homemade Wanderlust's AT documentary on YouTube, and
Yeah,
that
we
really
watched that
hit
at least
hard.
10 times
We
before our
rewatch it
hike.
all the time. And yeah, I think it just, I don't know, we didn't really talk about doing it. We kind of just would like obsessively watch these documentaries. And then we had this realization of like,
It like,
we just had to do
yeah.
it, or we feel like we would have regret.
At some point along the line, it was just like this thing that like, okay, I guess we're doing this now.
Yeah, we were
So
both like so just in love with the idea of it, I guess.
don't want to get away from Wilson. Get away from Wilson.
She wants a snack.
I think she was the one that took a bite out of him. Poor Wilson.
Emily wants to know how we like Starlink. Moving to New Hampshire near the Whites, and they plan on using it. I think it's
For
great.
us, it's great.
We did end
Yeah.
up getting the mesh extender because my dad's at the opposite end of the house, and
It's a very long house.
it's very long. So we got the mesh extender for him, and I think it's working much faster. But
yeah,
the speed is great.
Yeah, she's able to upload when you do your freelance work
Yeah.
really, really fast.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth the investment if you're going to be kind of living out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any issues with ticks? We had a few ticks. I think we were pretty
Couple.
lucky. We caught them within 24 hours, but we each carried like a 6-day dose of doxycycline that our doctors gave to us. So I would highly suggest anyone who's planning on through hiking to get this as well. It's called like propylated dose or something, but you can talk to your doctor and they're
Yeah.
usually able to just prescribe it right to you. But if you take that, if it's been 24 hours, then you should be safe. So, y'all are gonna have a cute cabin. Yes, we're really
Damn right.
excited.
Yeah, we're excited to show you guys everything that goes into it.
Rev BTB is suggesting we do a cooking live.
A cooking
with
live.
the Angel Hair Delight. That would be super cool.
I've never tried. I wonder how it would taste actually cooking it on a stove and not just like in a heating pack. I bet
like
it
fresh
would be
chicken.
really good.
Really
with
good.
fresh chicken, nonetheless.
My Aunt Sue says I have type O blood. Yes.
It's that sweet blood.
For identifying that.
I have type O blood and they don't like me. Maybe it's because I drink beer.
Yeah.
I don't like the beer.
You smell like hops.
I smell like hops. I taste like hops. Only the hipster mosquitoes like me.
The shelter behind Stanimals in Glasgow is a party hostel. Did you like Charlie's spiel? Oh my goodness.
He was a guy.
Charlie is a man. He was what, ex-Navy guy.
Ex-Navy, yeah.
Very, we're doing it this way and that's how it's done.
He was like, I felt like I was back in boot camp, the way that he was running his hostel.
It wasn't a relaxing experience at Stanimals, but they were really kind. They got Close Call a cake for his birthday, so that was very thoughtful.
Yeah, that was nice.
But definitely not like a relaxing kind of experience. Yeah. I guess we should probably be
we should wrap this thing up because I got work in the morning.
We're overtime. I'm going to New York to visit some friends, so I'm excited. I have to catch a train early tomorrow, but I'm really happy that we finally got the live to work and now we're experienced and we can do this again. So
yeah, I was a little bit nervous we both were nervous doing this, but no, I mean, a lot of people showed up. Thank you so much, and you guys had so many really great questions for us, and it really kept it flowing.
Yes,
so,
thank you all so much for just taking the time to write thoughtful questions and comments to us, and we appreciate you all so much.
Yeah, thank you for being here. We're so happy you all could make it, and we hope to be doing a lot of these in the future. So
definitely,
and just keep in mind our rebrand is coming up pretty soon. I know we keep teasing it, but
it's happening.
It's gonna happen
as soon as I get my butt into gear.
Yeah, we got a lot going on, but we still have a lot of videos on the Gypsy Trails side of things.
The thank you video, the gear video, and then we're gonna do like an intro to our new channel, which is gonna be called. Are we gonna tell them? No, okay, we're gonna make you guys wait. But it's still gonna be on this channel. We're just gonna rename it.
Yeah.
So definitely,
it's gonna be something to do with homesteading.
We'll give you guys a heads up for that. So Yes.
Oh,
Well,
Donna's yelling at the door. So
thank you for the nice wishes, Emily, on my trip. Looking forward to it. And
I'll try to have a good day.
yes, he's gonna have a
It's
good
gonna be a
day.
long day,
He
but a
will
good
leave
day.
at 6 and he will get home at 6. And
I
he will
will
be
get home
very
at
dead.
probably 7.
Probably 7. And I
But
won't be here to greet him. It'll
mm,
be terrible.
oh well,
He'll survive.
we'll
But
live.
wish you guys a beautiful Christmas and hope you get to be with all your loved ones. And yeah, just thank you so much for being here. You guys always lift our spirits. And in a time where life is feeling very overwhelming, this was a nice opportunity to catch up with you all and share what's going on in our life. So
Yeah.
um
Thank you all, and one last goodbye from this absolute unit right here
absolute unit of
of
a
a
cat.
cat. This
Look at
is
that
Donna.
belly.
This is Donna.
Look at the
She
belly.
loves every second of this.
She hates
as you
it.
can see.
She hates
She
it.
loves it.
We just
She
clipped her
loves
nails.
us. She loves us. But anyways, guys, I hope you have happy holidays, and we can't wait to hear from you soon.
We'll see you
So,
soon. Have a beautiful weekend. We love you all.
night, guys.
Good night.